Good evening, friends. It's a very important and a landmark event. In the last few months, particularly after Prime Minister Narendra Modi took office, the aviation sector has really expanded exponentially. It's literally a boom period in aviation. I don't know any person in the country, or for that matter in the world, who would now not aspire to travel by aircraft, barring few who maybe have air sickness. Otherwise, it's an intrinsic desire, and I would call it a childhood dream, that everybody wants to travel by air. But many like me, you grew up watching a plane from the ground and just passing by. But now it's a reality that everyone, and literally everyone, is either a passenger today or is an aspiring passenger today. And it would be our mission to make sure that air travel will be affordable, accessible, most importantly. First, it has to be accessible, then affordable, and then it should be comfortable. So we'll try to match all the three key elements of aviation into one, and we are really working on it. But to make it, we need to put so many things in place at the same time. I am happy to say that one of the first order I issued as a Minister of Aviation was to prepare a comprehensive plan for the aviation sector, a vision and a completely deliverables for 2035. In fact, when I was a Minister of Power, I had come out with a new law, Electricity Act 2003, which heralded into creation of huge capacity. In fact, the electricity capacity went up by 10-50 times only because of this law. And we are seeing today that we have more capacity than what we can consume. And same thing should happen in aviation, but we need a vision. We cannot live by day to day or an hour to hour or a month to month basis to plan for it. So while we need to deal with day to day problems, take action on them urgently, at the same time we must have a clear-cut roadmap and a vision. So we are working on it. And one of the key components of that would be, we need to make sure that we have a research organization. Because if we are in search of solution and do not have research backup, we'll never get solution. So the search will end into disaster in absence of a research. So the research would mean that all the issues related to aviation need to be looked into, and in a very scientific manner, applied research should be done, and only then we'll be able to get the type of outcome that we want from this sector. So today, we are growing at almost 20%, and I'm sure if you plan it properly, we'll even grow at higher rate. But for that, we'll have to create capacity. Infrastructure must be in line with the growing demand. And that's a big challenge, because land is not available. So I think one of the research that we should do is to how to develop infrastructure with less land. That's very important, because without, if you think that land is available plenty, I was that day in one city, I don't want to tell you, I met the Chief Minister, and he told me he's willing to give about 500 acres or some 700 acres of land. So my colleagues were telling me, sir, 700 is not much. I said, boss, 700 in a major city is big land. So what we have to do is plan properly with less land. And I was telling that we must have, the research organization must focus on such critical issues. Safety, most important. Convenience of passenger, very important. Making sure that we have a more capacity. At the same time, we can use it with a limited resources available with us. Not just financial, but otherwise, including land. And therefore, resource mapping, utilization, resource optimization is the most important thing. And I think, I'm sure we will be able to work on it. As I said, part of 2035 plan, we're also working on creating how much of resource will be required. In fact, finance is never a problem. When I was the Minister of Railways, I presented a budget, first budget, and we were saying, where is the money? Because all my previous ministers were always saying that we could have done so much, but there is no money. So I said, when I presented a budget, we People said, but where is the money? I said, honey, wait, I'll give you the money. And we got money within a few days, an 8,54,000 crores plan, which is now we are going to surpass. And that is what is required. So money is never a constraint if you have proper plan. And plan can be made only by a proper organization which is backed up by some good research. And that's why this is a foundation. And that's why I said it's a landmark event. It's a foundation, not just of a research organization, but it's a foundation through research of futuristic growth that we want to do. We are laying a foundation for that today through this program. So I'm very happy we are doing it. I'm hopeful that in the next few years' time, we'll also parallelly planning when the aviation sector grows, how do you make sure that manufacturing of aircraft happens in India? I was recently with Airbus, I have talked to Boeing. I said, you must manufacture that in India. And not just aircrafts, not just wide body aircrafts, but even other ancillaries and other parts. Once you become part of a global supply chain, you can imagine the number of jobs that will be created in the country. Because the entire SME sector gets into a high growth motion, like it happened in case of auto components. Automobile is a big industry. Auto component is all small scale industry. But without auto components, you cannot manufacture the vehicle. But same way, millions of parts goes into one aircraft. So if you don't have a proper system, ecosystem, supply chain will not happen. So this is a great opportunity. So we are working on that. We are also working to make sure that we'll have a cargo policy so that at night when our airspace is not as busy as in the morning, we can use that space for transporting of cargo. That again will be an exponential growth that will happen in the country. And this will also create huge jobs. So I am really thankful to Airport Authority for doing this great event. I'm also congratulating all those who have made it possible. And it's very good that though symbolically, even when we laid the foundation, the prototype of it came up immediately. So that's very good. It was hiding, but it came up immediately. I hope you'll be able to construct this building in a speed, at same speed, but with less time to bring it up as fast as that possible. So congratulations to you. Let me wish you all my best and looking forward to a much better days for the aviation in the years to come. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Jai Hind. Jai Telangana.